Grand Rising, good people. It's Eric Taylor, BigE Astrology. A little bit late today, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, and it's time for the Astro-Weather Weekend. Scorpio, Sagittarius Moon, Leo season. And I got a workshop tonight. Are you coming? Phew. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, new look, no shades, and got my locks trimmed a little bit. They were weighting your boy down so heavy, just a little cut. But it's Eric Taylor, BigE Astrology, with the Astro-Weather Weekend report, and we are talking about Friday, August 1st, Saturday, August 2nd, and Sunday, August 3rd. Leo season. We're still in the first decan, 9 degrees today, but tomorrow we start the second decan, which is the Leo Sagittarius decan. All right, Leo is a fixed fire sign. The Scorpio Moon, it's coming off the square. Now it's at, it's already at like 15 degrees, but it squared it this morning as you were waking up. And 12 degrees, and it's going to finish up tonight at around 17 degrees East Coast, maybe get to 18 degrees on the West Coast. Okay, so it should be around 24 degrees tomorrow. And then we'll finish out most of the day. We'll get to the Sag Moon close to midnight. It's a Saturday night, and Sag Moon all Sunday. So what does that mean? Well, coming off the Sun Square Moon, could be some things internally and externally. Obviously, we're dealing with stuff with tariffs in America and Canada and yada, yada, yada. We're really trying to take care of people. Food, freedom, liberation, ending starvation, ceasefires. There's a lot going on, and this is an interesting energy as we're getting ready for the Aquarius full moon on August 9th, and I'll be recording that video this weekend. But we've got to really understand what's happening, that we're integrating this new energy. Venus and Cancer. So Venus and Jupiter in Cancer, that conjunction, you'll start to feel it, right around the 9th to up to the point of the 14th, maybe the 15th. That exact conjunction is on the 12th and the 11th, depending on East or West Coast where you're at, Venus, Jupiter, and Cancer. So, we're going to get to the charts. You're going to have a great weekend. Listen, when the moon's in Scorpio, it's in its planetary fall. Not a death sentence, but what do I tell you? The emotions are extremely intense. You have to release it and purge it. You got to scream, yell, you got to walk away, do that. Coming from the boys' school, we're starting middle school, 7th grade. They were in middle school last year, but a new school. And it's a school where my high schooler graduated from. We got football practice this weekend, a little special football event tonight. But tonight, you can still sign up now. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern. I think the cutoff may be 4 p.m. Eastern. But 7 p.m. Eastern, the Navigating Ascension workshop with myself, Eric Taylor, BigE Astrology, and in the Akasha, Rebecca Vidanoff. It's going to be really, really powerful, looking at it from the Akashic records, channeling, and astrological perspectives of really how to navigate these energies and what's going to be going on, what we're going to experience, and then how to deal with it. Okay, so I've got some really good insights and tips for you, especially around the the Virgo solar eclipse, August 23rd, and September 7th, the Pisces lunar eclipse. Okay, there's a lot of energy going on. There's a lot happening, and we want you to be ready for it. It's $44. The link is on my website, on YouTube, and my post. It's also on Rebecca Vidanoff's website in the Akasha. And if you want to sign up, if you have any questions, email me, eric@bigeastrology.com. Same thing for the Leo birth chart sale. Leo, Sun, Moon, Risings, natal, solar return, secondary progression. And that goes to August 22nd. Okay, or midnight the 21st, but I may extend it one day because the Leo sun leaves and the Virgo season starts late on the 22nd, and then on the 23rd we have the Virgo solar eclipse at 0 degrees. Okay, so that's kind of what's the agenda. Return to sender. Lyrically, I'll put you in the blender. So let's bring up the chart. For Friday, Venus Day, have your chocolates, but also Venus's devotion and relationships. So you want to come so you could be devoted to ascension and have the relationship of self-love vibrating from your heart chakra for $44. It's totally worth it. Rebecca and I are going to go in, and it's going to be very personalized to you and your placement. So you want to come with your birth date and your sun, moon, rising. All right? Eric Taylor, Big E Astrology. Let's get to August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Scorpio, Sagittarius Moon, Leo season weekend. Pew. All right, forget about it Friday, baby. Augusto is here. Hope you guys had a good July. I know I did. And it's Leo season, so please reach out for the Leo birth chart sale. We're looking at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. So that just means we're going to go from 12, it's 5 degrees that the moon will advance through the day. So you see the Scorpio moon, and that will take us to 17 degrees. Okay. Now, remember, this moon is going to start to get into the trine to what? The Pisces North Node at 19. So you're going to feel that later tonight. This is a good night for some meditation, doing some sort of spiritual practice. Maybe we get the sound bowls out tonight, things like that. But really, really tapping into feeling the vibration and frequency. If you listen to music tonight, even, listening to good quality music, sound, okay? Remember, it's not really squaring anything in Aquarius or Leo except for Mercury retrograde. Okay, so we have the Leo sun, but we've got Mercury now, which is coming through the Cazimi. So it kind of reboosts the Mercury, and you already had that square, so there's really nothing else. And welcome to Venus in Cancer. So there's a big shift, right? And Venus went in yesterday. So you're going to start to feel this conjunction a little bit more each day. Venus-Jupiter, which is really nice. Like I said, you'll feel it more, I would say, August 9th to the 14th. Okay? But that's a nice period to really have. But in terms of like really good energy, August 3rd is really a good day before we get into this Mars opposition to Saturn and Neptune, right? Because remember, Mars is finishing up in Virgo, and we still got this South Node. There it is. So Mars will go in, I think, on August, 4th or 5th into Libra, and it'll be opposing Saturn and Neptune. All right, so we'll see that next week. But this is a decent weekend for these energies. You'll have the moon sextiling Mars on Saturday, okay? And, Friday is date night, romance, Venus. Now, Mercury moving back into Leo, and now, it's obviously a day or two. It's been in the first decan. It's really heart-centered. You gotta have some joy and just play and have fun. So try to do that, right? We're doing stuff with the kids this weekend before they go back to school on Monday. Yeah, I'm happy. Regular sleep and work schedule again, and being more productive. And I'm even productive when the kids are home, but it's a lot harder, trust me. And I love my boys, but they need to do their schoolwork, get their brains back on focus, and I've got to be more dedicated to you and all my clients and my work. All right. So, and I'm excited because my other 2 workshops with Debbie Solaris are going to be September 13th and with Anjani Segrist, September 27th. And we got Coffee Talk next Saturday and the Tribe meeting and a podcast. You send your rose at 6 p.m. on Friday, August 8th on 8/8 Portal. And then 8:30 p.m. Eastern, the 5th Tribe meeting. All right, and it's going to be fun. Get a little numerology update for August, some light language, alien stories, all types of stuff. All right, $18 or $5, www.community.bigeastrology.com. Join our tribe. Knowledge is Love tribe. All right, let's get to Saturday, where we should see that moon should be at 23 or 24 degrees Scorpio. All right, Astro-Weather Weekend. Let's get to Sábado, Big Astrology. Pew! All right, Secret Saturday, Sábado, good people. And this Scorpio moon, blue moon. Oh my God, the benches at my boy's school, it hurt my butt. My butt was hurting for certain. So, see the South Node. Now, the Scorpio moon, what did we say? Yeah, it would be at around 24. Looks like it's at 20. Is that 25 degrees? No, 23 degrees. Okay, so we're going to get the Sagittarius moon, close to about 11 p.m. Eastern, okay, on Saturday night. And we'll, have the Sagittarius moon for Sunday, Monday, and un poquito Tuesday. But this moon can definitely, hold on one second. For some reason, my door is still open when I'm working and doing Astro-Weather. So, the Scorpio moon is definitely, in this final decan, that's the Scorpio Cancer decan, very intense emotions, but it's coming off the trine to the Pisces North Node, okay? So that trine got a little shot here of doing my parasite cleanse. We've been working on a parasite cleanse. Yeah, it doesn't taste so good, but definitely feeling good, cleansing things out. So, one thing I want you guys to remember about the nodes is that we are really supposed to be moving towards the compassion, the empathy, the grace and mercy for ourselves and others with the Pisces North Node. But it's the health axis. You've got to take care of your mental, spiritual, physical, nutritional, gut health. Virgo South Node, right? Release being overly critical of yourself and others. Stop being so nitpicky, but cleanse and purify the gut. It's important. Now, this Leo sun, all right, we're in the second decan. What's that? Leo Sagittarius decan. These are the Leos that are a little bit more adventurous. They definitely want some freedom, and you're feeling that from August 2nd to about, 10 to 9 days, to the 11th, okay? And then we got the 12th to the 21st, that final decan. All right, that's that Leo Aries decan where my children are at, and they're wild, right? That final decan, they are like very competitive, assertive, initiating. But now remember the Uranus trining Pluto. There's a lot of things, and then when Mars joins it, we're gonna have that grand air trine. But there's a lot of things happening with technology, with systems, with communication, with digital currency, with crypto. I advise that you start to do some real research if you haven't already to invest. The mechanisms are shifting, things are changing, okay? More and more things are going on the blockchain. It's going to blockchain, XRP, Ethereum, XLM, Bitcoin, okay? Check with your financial planners. But a lot of them may not know about crypto. So you've got to learn, take classes, and do research. You can do stuff with Portia Cooper, okay? The starcardstudio.com, okay? I'm taking her crypto class, my family and I. So it's something I highly recommend. Portia Cooper is great. And you want to be up on this, you guys, okay? And you want to learn about having your own, cold wallet, okay? So Venus is already moving, right? 2 degrees. You see it's going to start to catch up to Jupiter. They're within the conjunction, 12 degrees. And that's only going to continue. Venus will catch up faster than Jupiter will move. Because remember, Jupiter's here to June 30th, 2026. How you feeling about that, Cancer? Are you feeling more at home, emotional intelligence? Do you feel like you're getting the bag a little bit? It's going to increase the divine feminine. And when Venus comes, it's really going to boost things up. This is summer love. This is marriage. This is coming back home, nostalgia, cookouts, barbecues, family reunions. That's the energy. So enjoy the Saturday, and we'll get ready to get to the Sagittarius moon late tonight. Like I said, the moon will finish up at 0 degrees on the East Coast and 29 degrees on 29 degrees on the East Coast and get to 0 degrees Sag on the West Coast at midnight. All right, or right around there. Astro-Weather Weekend. Eric Taylor, Big Astrology. Let's get to Sunday, August 3rd, and I'm recording a podcast on Saturday. Omni Awaken Evolution. Probably be out in a week or so. It's going to be great with me and 2 other astrologers. Awaken the Dream School, Anjani Segrest, and Lady Menza Astrology. Really powerful, excited, melanated astrologers coming together talking about astrology with Felix. It's going to be awesome. All right, Eric Taylor, Biggie Astrology. Pew. Sleep on it. Sunday, August 3rd, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. Remember, it was only Friday that I came at 11 and 2. And there's the moon. So Sagittarius moon is now 5 degrees. Okay? So that means it'll finish up at 11 degrees East Coast and maybe get to 12 degrees on the West Coast. Chances are I would stay at 11 degrees. Okay, so when I see it Monday morning, it should be at about 17, the most 18 degrees. Okay. And, the Sagittarius moon is very much about the law, the wisdom, beliefs, philosophies, foreign lands and cultures. And this is coming in, right? And you would have felt it late Saturday night as you're going to bed, opposing Uranus in Gemini. Okay. And so that could be very interesting in terms of the debates and communications about Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine. Are they finally letting all the food in? You have so many different countries now that are going to accept Palestine as the 2-state system, the next UN meeting. Okay? The tides have been turning where everybody's really seeing what's going on and coming down against Israel and some of the things they've been saying that are not true. Okay, it's unfortunate, but we pray for peace for everybody and safety and all hostages to be returned and for people that are doing wrong to deal with the justice of it. And this Sag moon is about the law. Okay, Mercury's still retrograding 7 degrees. Remember, this ends on the 10th and the 11th, East Coast. And we're in that decan, the sun, second decan too. As you feel Venus, start to move, look at that already at 4 degrees in conjunction with Jupiter, and Jupiter being close to dog star Sirius, they're going to have a nice alignment conjunct Sirius, and that's going to be really powerful coming up on the 11th and 12th, okay? That whole 11th, 12th, 13th, big ascended master, manifesting money, learning new subjects and classes, and maybe I will announce my course in the fall and when I'm going to start teaching that, okay? So I'm looking forward to that, and that may be on Saturdays. Probably not in the morning. Maybe it'll be Saturdays in the afternoon. We'll have to see. So what do we got here? We got Lilith still dancing around in Scorpio, but remember it's going to go to Sag too. It's going back and forth. And, Lilith has really been operating on this energy where it's been between Libra, Scorpio, and Sag for a while. And don't forget the Mars in Virgo. So as we see Mars wrapping up, you know, this is really that last day before things shift, and then we have this opposition. So next week we're going to experience that. And what we can really focus on too is grounding into our body, still getting the light codes from the sun, you know, and this is something I'll be talking about tonight. And part of ascension is being extremely intentional with our choices to what we listen to, what we watch with our eyes. You know, things shouldn't resonate with you anymore from the old system, the old world. And you have to have more spiritual discernment when you're being lied to by the television and the news, you know. I won't talk about it here, but you know, there's some major things that they're saying that are not necessarily the truth. So you just have to have discernment and check into your root chakra, right? This Lilith sort of trining the Venus and Jupiter in Scorpio, it really, or I would say more trining the Jupiter, it really helps you to trust your intuition aligned with your wisdom, beliefs, and philosophies, and expanding your consciousness. You are the divine intelligence. You are the alien. You are the computer, and you have the knowledge. You just got to trust your feelings, right? You see these antennas, but even putting your palms up to the sun every day to integrate that energy. These things, these little things that we can do, they seem like nothing, but they do make a difference. And I'm an example because I do it every day and I feel these things, how they help me, but they also help me integrate into the ascension. You know, dreams can be kind of wild right now, you know. Saturn, Neptune, Aries, Chiron joined the party on the 30th, right? Chiron being retrograde, it's a time to really tap in, to really see how are we working on our wounds about being leaders, about initiating, about being brave and courageous, right? Aries, like Leo, it's extremely brave and courageous. All the fire signs are. Okay, and with Saturn, Neptune, and Chiron retrograde, it's giving us an opportunity to tap in and say, what is really real, right? How can we be more independent and sovereign? We need to take a pause and think before we react or overreact and be overly impulsive, right? We've got to heal our wounds about, you know, being independent. You're okay doing it your way and by yourself. But Aries also needs to learn partnership. You look at the other sign, Libra, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. You don't have to do it alone, but you are responsible for your own self, your own thoughts, your own beliefs, your own ideologies, what you put in your mouth. What did Jay-Z say? What you eat don't make me sugar, honey, iced tea, right? So there you go. That's what I'm talking about. So just be intentional about it all. Tap in and remember this Venus is, you know, coming off of, because you won't feel it that much more, of the sextile to Neptune and Saturn. And they're both, this is the closest they'll be until February 20th of 2026, right? They're the same degree, just minutes apart, Saturn and Neptune. That shift with Neptune now. And this is also, I think, why we're having the extreme flooding. And when they both get to 0 degrees, it's going to be even more, and this is going to activate stuff for hurricane season as we get into the end of August and early September around Labor Day and the eclipses, okay? So just be mindful of that, because remember, Saturn's getting ready to go to 0 degrees. As you can see, it's getting close, the minutes, because September 1st, it goes back into Pisces. October 22nd, Neptune returns, all right? Mars is going to activate this. And we're going to see Mars opposing Saturn. There's going to be a lot more things about protesting, you know, and you got to watch out, right? When they said that they were going on recess, Congress, they put in something to take away your employee status to make you a contract worker. Now, it's up to the companies to implement it, but that's not cool. So you got to pay attention. I told you back in the day, I used to watch C-SPAN. You got to not hear the talk and the rhetoric, see what bills and laws are being passed and things that are being voted on that will greatly affect you. That means you could not be in a union, or you may not have certain benefits if you're a contract worker compared to an employee. That's huge. And that may start to come into play with this Mars opposing Saturn and Neptune, as well as issues around flooding and issues in the seas and fighting for water world and land and stuff like that. So stay tuned. But hey, we're going to stay positive, faith over fear. And this Sag moon, it's coming off of trining, okay, Saturn and Neptune and Aries. So, Sunday morning as you're waking up, or really while you're sleeping in your dreams, there could be some dreams about travel, about freedom and liberation, about what's real, you know what I mean? And maybe getting some discernment in your dreams. You can request it. You're not a victim in a 3D or 5D, so you can ask for answers, and you could be very specific to your guardian angels and spirit guides, your ancestors, of what clarity you want, and tapping into Archangel Raphael and Michael and Gabrielle, okay? All right. Astro-Weather Weekend. Eric Taylor, BigE Astrology. Enjoy with the Scorpio Sagittarius Moon. That's it, good people. Eric Taylor, BigE Astrology, with the Astro-Weather Weekend Report. So, hope you enjoy Leo season. Hit me up with the Leo birth chart sale. Sign up for my tribe and community tribe meetings next weekend. But sign up for Astrological Coffee Talk with Eric. 2 hours, $22. We're going to be breaking down the charts next Saturday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, of the Virgo solar eclipse on August 23rd. And the Pisces lunar eclipse on September 7th. You don't want to miss this coffee talk. If you're a premium tribe member, you get it for free. If you're just a basic level, it's $22. Okay, but everybody else, sign up. Eric at BigEAstrology.com. It'll be on the website in a day or two, but you can book your seat for coffee talk today. PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, and this is a coffee talk you don't want to miss. And then later on in the month, my mini coffee talk on a Friday night, I will be talking about Saturn re-entering Pisces for its final visit for another 29 years. That's a lot. So you really want to understand from September 1st to February what this energy will be doing in terms of recalibrating you with your boundaries, with your spiritual discipline and practice, and much more. All right. Reach out, check out the website, sign up for the newsletter. We'll have one coming out next week. BigEAstrology.com. Get you ready for this Aquarius full moon this weekend as well. And I'll see you Sunday night live at 8 p.m. Eastern, talking about Mars and Jupiter in Leo in the natal birth chart. And we're going to look at the chart and talk about this upcoming transit on the 11th and 12th of Venus-Jupiter conjunction in Cancer. It's going to be powerful. All right? Astro-Weather Weekend, BigE Astrology.